Right now, today is actually World Suicide Prevention Day. And you may recall, if you caught our show last week, we talked about the Play for Page Foundation, which is a newly created foundation to help prevent suicides and to help families with such tragedies. And we're going to kind of carry this on as a topic because September is a month that we focus on this topic. And so we have with us today Julia Hebenstreit. She is the executive director of the Kim Foundation. Good morning, Julia, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate you joining us and talking about a very important topic. But first of all, why don't you give us an overview of what exactly the Kim Foundation is?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We are a family foundation based here in Omaha, but work throughout the state of Nebraska. And our mission is to serve as a supportive resource and compassionate voice for lives touched by mental illness and suicide. So we really focus on community engagement and education around these topics. Both mental health and suicide are still things that are very stigmatized within our society. And so really working to break down that stigma so that people feel comfortable opening up and talking about situations that either they or a loved one are experiencing, but also that they feel comfortable and safe reaching out for help when, when that's needed, and just really changing society's mindset and our community's mindset to shift to get folks to realize that mental health is just as important as physical health, and you can't have one without the other, and just connecting people to the resources that they need. We do free training throughout the community. We do over 300 a year, and so provide a lot of community engagement and education resources around these important topics.
What are some ways that people, if they're experiencing some mental health issues on their own or a loved one, what are some resources through the Kim Foundation where they can reach out and get the help that they need?
Yeah, oftentimes people aren't as familiar with the mental health landscape in our community until they do need it, and so they just aren't sure where to turn. So they can call us, and we don't endorse one provider over another, but we do spend a lot of time getting to know providers and organizations throughout the community, so really can connect them to someone that we think might be a good fit for them. Other times they've experienced a variety of resources already and haven't had good luck, and so we're able to connect them hopefully with someone that can help their specific situation. But also sometimes, they just feel very alone in it, and that they don't understand there's others out there struggling with, mental health, or either of themselves or a loved one. And so just allowing them that safe space to have that conversation and learn more about what it is they're experiencing. And then on the other end, we do suicide postvention as well as prevention. So postvention is after someone has died by suicide. We work with all the local law enforcement agencies and are notified every time a suicide does occur, and we reach out to that family. They're considered survivors. In suicide, a survivor is someone who's lost a loved one to suicide. And so we are able to meet with that family, help them through that immediate crisis, and connect them with support resources, because research shows the sooner that they get help and start working toward through their grief, then they are less likely to ever think about suicide themselves. So we provide some important resources in the community. We never want to have to go visit a family, certainly, but we are here to support them through that once they do need our services.
How can people get a hold of Kim Foundation?
You can call our office. Our general number is 402-891-6911, or you can reach us online at thekimfoundation.org, and there's email forms that you can send in through there, a ton of resources and information about what's available in the community, how to get connected if this is something that you're interested in volunteering or learning more about, and just kind of what's coming up in the community as well.
We're talking with Julia Hebenstreit from the Kim Foundation. And Julia, can you tell us a little bit about this new 988 three-digit calling code that rolled out this summer and how people can use that if it's needed?
Absolutely. So 988 is taking the place of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which was previously 800-273-8255. And the idea being that a 3-digit call code is much easier to remember, similar to 911, than a long 800 number. And so that when someone is struggling with their mental health, it doesn't have to necessarily be suicide ideation or suicidal thoughts. It can simply be a mental health crisis. They can call for any reason, and it doesn't have to be they themselves. So if they're worried about someone, they can call 988 and talk through that with a trained crisis counselor. So 988 was developed to really transform our behavioral health system across our country, and it was built on 3 pillars. So someone to call. So whenever you call 988, you're going to reach a trained crisis counselor within your community 24/7. The second pillar is someone to come. If that crisis counselor isn't enough and they need to send someone out to be with you, they can send a crisis response team to really help de-escalate in person for the individual struggling or the family as well, and then somewhere to go. So really building up that continuum of care throughout our community and state so that people receive the help that they need when they need it, because that's really the most important thing, to be able to have that access to care. So if someone still calls the 800 number, you'd still automatically be routed to 988, and vice versa. There won't be any leg between there. It rolled out July 16th. Here in Nebraska, we're doing a fantastic job of being ahead of the game. We had most things in place and ready to go, and so we did a soft launch on July 1, and it really kicked off July 16th, and have had increased call volume, which is encouraging for people. We know people are hearing about it and knowing about it, because a lot of the calls are just wanting more information or make sure it's, a real thing. It is a very real thing, and there to serve the community, and really there to just help people when they need it.
Another minute with Julia Hebenstreit from the Kim Foundation. Before we let you go, Julia, can you tell us a little bit about this event you have coming up on November 9th?
Yeah, so we're welcoming Jay Glazer from Fox NFL. He's an NFL insider on Fox Sports, and he's going to be our keynote speaker. We join the community together every year and bring in a national keynote to really bring the community together around mental health and suicide prevention to normalize that conversation. And Jay has a very charismatic personality, obviously, as a TV personality, but has experienced depression and anxiety himself, and he's very open with that story and released a book in January of this year. So he's going to talk about his personal experiences, and he had 3 pillars as well for his recovery, and 2 of those are service to others and humor. So he'll bring a lot of that to the day. It's a luncheon at Embassy Suites, so Wednesday, November 9th. We're just really excited to have him here. We're going to do a fireside chat for the first time, so it'll be very personal. He's going to share a ton of information, and just a great opportunity to heighten awareness in the community.
Well, Julia, we appreciate what you and your colleagues at the Kim Foundation are doing to make Omaha a safer and healthier place. And we thank you for joining us this morning on Grow Omaha.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Julia Hebenstreit, head of the Kim Foundation.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.